I'm on a boat. I'm on a boat. Okay, really? No, I really should not do that. That's a really bad intro idea. What am I thinking? Am I crazy for doing that sort of thing? I mean, really, is that what people want to see when they go on the internet? Is that sort of thing? I mean, honestly. All right. I don't know how it happened. Things went wrong. Somehow a jar of marmalade was involved, and, well, I've been cast ashore on the sands of a very lovely tropical island. So this is our build palette for this particular challenge, and we have basically this entire area to develop. I know GardenBunny's been on here doing some work already, I believe, and yeah, we've got all the way back to basically this cliff edge here. We can't do anything to the cliff itself, but we do have back to the cliff edge, and it's a pretty big open area. I don't know if we can actually build anything up at the lagoon or anything, but the theme on this one is Tropical Island, and there's actually what I believe GardenBunny's been working on already, the Tropical Resort Hotel, and there's my least favorite thing in Minecraft now. Terracotta blocks. Ugh. Yeah, so, but, yeah, tropical, it makes sense. Island recovery? Yeah, recovery. Let's do some of that right now, Farrell. So yeah, we've got this whole beach to kind of play with, and, I gotta admit, guys, I don't really have much of an inspiration on this one. I mean, I'm not going into this one like I did the last build competition, where I kind of had, you know, a little bit of an idea of stuff I wanted to do. But yeah, we've got this whole area to build with, and I don't exactly have anything off the top of my head that I want to do, so I'm probably just going to kind of play around a little bit and let the inspiration take me where we go, I guess. So basically, first off, we do have a resource pack, and it's changed some of our blocks around. So we actually don't have purple slabs or stairs. That actually gives us, if I pull it up here, though we do have the columns, interestingly enough. Sand. You'll see that we've got sandstone slabs, but we've also got sand slabs out of a little bit of a mod here, I think. No, it's... I guess they changed in 1.12 the name of everything. Anyways, we've got sand slabs that we can actually work with, which is pretty cool because we'll be able to kind of make more gradual terrain changes there. And there's also sand stairs themselves, supposedly. Don't see those, though. Birchwood, sandstone stairs. No sand stairs, oddly enough. I'll have to see if there's something wrong with those. There's also mud, which is soul sand. So I've got some decorative touches there, and all the acacia has been turned into ancient stone bricks, which, let me actually play around with some of these. Oh, for crying out loud. Seriously, Minecraft? Can I just say that I really hate this new stupid, you need to learn how to play the game every time you connect to a new world thing that's in Minecraft 1.12? That needs to go. But you can see we've got a little bit of a... Let me turn off the smooth camera movement here. It's kind of an interesting look. And we've got some accompanying slabs that go with it. That would actually look pretty good mixed in with cobblestone for a road surface. And then, of course, we've got stairs. And, of course, being stairs, we've also got undersides of stairs. And, okay, so these are fully functional stairs. Interesting. Could make a pretty decent ancient-looking castle out of that. The stone brick fence, I don't quite agree with. I don't see that really being useful anywhere. But then they also did some walls here as well. Unfortunately, it looks like the walls are... Yeah, they're not the kind where they, you drop down. Like, if I take a cobblestone wall here and do that, you'll see how it drops down there as I go further along. It looks like these don't do quite the same thing. Which is a bit of a shame, because it looks like good walls, but if I were doing, like, a castle, that would look pretty good up top as a kind of crenellation, so... We do have, as I'm recording this, this is the 17th. I'm only a few hours late to the opening here, and there's not that many people. Well, I'm the only one on our server for Spumwack. But there is, has been, obviously, GardenBunny's been doing some work on a resort hotel down there. We do have this whole kind of beach landscape, basic beach front landscape. So we can muck about with the trees, we can muck about with the land here. But it has to fit the landscape, and we can put builds into the ocean, but we can't expand the ocean to make it any bigger. So that would, to me, indicate that this drop right here is probably a really special terrain glitch of some sort. Good job, Minecraft. Really good job. We have no voxel sniper this time, unfortunately. We do have world edit, but that's about it. We have 1 week, so we have until noon on the 24th. That's UTC time to to make this build finished, get it all done. No extensions this time, no ifs, ands, or buts, because they've got all the judges currently lined up. Now, we're all basically building all this for the land of Mora, which is going to be a much larger adventure map that is being worked on, and we've got kind of 3 areas that we could cater to for this build, because it's going to be a little weird thing where our builds have to fit the landscape, and there's a little bit of kind of almost a time travel aspect, so we can kind of center our builds around sort of 3 major theme eras, so to speak. So there's a magic medieval age, there's an industrial age, and there's a technology age. Well, the problem with trying to do the theme builds is, if we're going to do that, we would really kind of need a lot of the blocks and chisel. I mean, the terracotta blocks here are ridiculously oversaturated and suitable for a tropical style build, but that's about it. I can't really see doing anything technological. It's very hard to do technology in Minecraft in a decent way without using some sort of mod block that's going to give you additional items to work with, essentially. So there is that problem. Now, it's going to be a question of, whoever wins is going to make it in a landscape. There's going to be other elements from the other builds that are going to be incorporated in various places, and there is the texture pack, like I showed you. That's the other important piece, and within the realm of that, the inspiration for tropical building, it's not exactly one I've got a lot for. And I mean, it's really tough to say what we could pull off. And we haven't really picked a theme as our group. I mean, GardenBunny's building the resort hotel, and you guys will have my idea in kind of a moment here, but I'm thinking like a pirate-themed adventure park. And hear me out on this one, because I'm kind of picturing a big, like a wrecked ship. It's kind of crashed into the shoreline, and kind of building rides, quote-unquote, off of that. So there'll be like some sort of big roller coaster. And the way I kind of see this happening is the roller coaster itself is going to have ends that end at the cliff itself. Because part of the problem is we can't we really can't do anything to the cliff. So that is a little bit of a problem. We can build into the side of the cliff, but we can't touch anything that is, quote-unquote, the red desert at the top here. So any of the orange stained clay that's up here. I hope that's orange stained clay. Yeah. The new hardened clay color. Ugh. And the texture's slightly... Yeah, we took the stone texture and slightly ramped down the color on it. Yeah. I kind of like the flat color before. So we've got that, and... Because I'm kind of thinking the roller coaster can go in and under the mountain here. And we can kind of theme it like a, the pirate pirate treasure map type thing. You know, you're going to be exploring and you're going into kind of like a mine shaft almost, and it's going to be lots of fun and exciting things. You can tell this idea is just like barely a nugget in my head right now. That's what's kind of in my mind right now, is there's an in tunnel here, and then there's an out tunnel there. Or possibly higher up. I mean, it would kind of make sense to have a possible final plunge, but maybe I should think of the final plunge more as like the a log flume ride, because that's another thing I could do. Well, to a point, because of the way they've changed boat mechanics, you can't exactly do stuff with just flowing water signs and packed ice, because the boat is going to get bogged down, but that still might work. I have to play around with that a little and see how that'll work, but I'm really thinking kind of, you know, an abandoned ship off of the beach, or not abandoned ship, a crashed ship off right on the beach front here. We'll build some of the rides out and through it, and I mean, roller coaster, log flume, that kind of comes to mind. I could do like a water slide thing, like maybe I'll do a lookout tower of some sort, and just kind of make it look like, you know, the stairs are actually the water slide down. So a couple ideas there. I'm not exactly sure how well this is going to work, but we'll find out. So what do you say we get started? First thing we're going to need to do is first thing I want to do is start casting about and seeing about building out my favorite block in all of Minecraft, kind of a rough outline of what I want to do. Oh, for crying out loud. Go away, you stupid tutorial. I don't care. I'm in creative mode, for crying out loud. Why is it still giving me tutorial advice for recipes? Mojang, turn that thing off. It's useless. Or give us an option to turn it off. How many games have you... Seriously, let's talk about this while I'm kind of figuring out the shape, because it's easier to kind of... for me to think of things if I'm thinking of something else. How many of you people have played a game where there's been a tutorial mode that you have not been able to disable in like options or anything? This is what's really pissing me off right now, to be blunt, and it's because of that. I should also mention the texture path pack is based on Faithful 32, so if it looks a little more high def than the usual Minecraft fun. Let's bring this out a little more, so it'll be like that. I'm actually kind of thinking of the ship I built on the XPS server before the reset, and kind of going for sort of that similar can't, you know, it's wrecked, it's in the process of rolling outside thing. But yeah, let's look at you look at Minecraft, and let's be honest, at this point, as far as a game goes, Minecraft is largely tapped out. I mean, if Microsoft is really kind of expecting to make a lot of money off of Minecraft by selling new copies, that seems like a really pointless thing to think about. Because anyone who would have bought the game has probably done it by now on the PC version. But that's okay, because I guess there's rumors that there's going to be shaders offered for the non-moddable versions now, apparently, and you'll have to pay for them. Yeah, great, yeah. I'll just stick with the very last version of Minecraft that comes out for Java then, which will be moddable to the nth degree. Is that going to be right for the sides? Anyways, I am kind of having... I'm just really annoyed with the direction they took that. It's like, we're going to give you something, and it's going to be a feature that was really intended more for new users. So, how many new users is Minecraft really bringing into the game on the PC platform at this point? I really question that. And the decision to base a feature that is primarily only going to be useful for, well, a new player. I mean, it's great that they've got this new recipe system, I guess. I mean, I'm still on the fence about that whole recipe book thing, and I don't know. It's kind of like it's almost feeling like cooking for blockheads got put into the game out of Pam's Harvest Craft, and in some ways that kind of mod is a good thing, and in some ways it's kind of a bad thing, because, you know, at least before, you're generally encouraged to learn the recipes. I'm kind of thinking this is going to be the bottom footprint of the ship, by the way. This is not going to be like the top deck, but we're going to have kind of the hull line down around here, and I'm also realizing I can't actually bring it down on a curve because good old Minecraft and stairs, because God forbid we have mathematics in the game that can interpret when a stair is in a water block and display the appropriate... Really? Am I... I don't know if that's a texture pack interfering with me or not, but that's really annoying. I can't see the... Hang on, can I get... I really doubt this is going to help, but... Ah, great. Actually, that did help. I can see that a little better now. Yeah, I just really question the idea of adding a new feature that's just clearly engineered for new players. How many new people are actually coming to Minecraft? That's my question. I mean, when you look at something like, and even then the people who are coming are generally coming because they've got some clue about the game already. So, like, when you look at someone like, I mean, give you an idea of what I'm kind of rambling on about here in a weird, nonsensical way. When you look at my channel, for instance, the Minecraft audience itself is pretty oversaturated, because I'll put out one video for Minecraft and I'll get maybe 100 views at best, and most of those are just people that I know who are tuning in to see the stuff I'm doing. And then you get some of these other, like, comparatively speaking, I did a video for BattleTech, and that thing netted my first 1,000 plus viewer video. It's up to like 1,300 people have watched it last time I checked this morning, and it's like, you know, you do. I'm not doing this for the views. It's just kind of a shocking counterpoint that the saturation of Minecraft is that significant enough that there's no real point in... Everyone who would be playing the game is more or less playing the game. You've got maybe a handful of people who get the game every year. I really kind of wonder what the sales look like on Minecraft right now, for them to be debating about this feature, and then for them to say, oh, but we'll give you things like, you know, shaders and whatnot. And it's like, okay, well, I could just, you know, get a shader pack from the internet and have that applied in virtually no time. Except for the problem is they've designed the game, the direction the game is supposed to go. It's worrying me, frankly, and it's always been a case of, oh, well, we're not out to screw the community over. We'll still support modding and everything, and I'm kind of feeling like that has been changed, because it doesn't feel like, if you're gonna be supporting modding, that you're now charging for a shaders mod. That's a little hinky to me. More than a little hinky to me, actually. That says that you have, you've got this great community that in part was built up because of the support for modding, and now that is being deemed detrimental to the game or the potential profit line, and now it must be shot down. I mean, let's look at it this way. They're supposed to... How many... You look at the Yogscast modding API song. How long have we been promised a modding API in the game? And Sarge was supposed to be... You know, he was the big guy in the modding community. Oh, we've brought him on staff, so now we'll hopefully see some modding improvements get into place. And yet, at this point in the game, we're still waiting to get more slabs and stairs. It still takes mods to be able to add things to this game that... they still can't even get into the game. So it worries me when I see something like that, and worries me when I see tutorials aimed for new players, because that says to me, if they... The problem that I'm worried about is, why are they looking to pull in new players, or be able to better handle new players? That says to me, someone is planning something somewhere that is going to fundamentally screw up the game. That effectively it is going to be a rebooted Minecraft, and we are going to make it the way Microsoft wants to make it. And frankly, that scares me. I mean, I mean, going back to my BattleTech example, you look at a game like Mech Commander and what it did to, oh dear God, what it did to Fastest Studios and Mech Assault, and you look at what Microsoft in BattleTech certainly with those particular intellectual properties is they fundamentally twisted and destroyed, in my opinion, the game. You know, the IP and everything, and that worries me. Are we looking at the same thing potentially happening to Minecraft? So yeah, well, that's why I'm really worried about all these new blocks that are being added and all of this stuff and all that stuff. And the new, you look at the new combat system, for instance, and you look at the feedback, the community feedback on that, and it doesn't seem like it's necessarily all that well supported, except in a very small click. But it's been kept in the game. You know, how much of the fan base really? Just in case you guys are wondering why I'm doing this one solid, this is kind of a new technique I'm trying with building the ship because it's a little easier to kind of see the shape as I'm building out. If I'm building out in layers, kind of almost like a 3D printer. I mean, that's basically what I am doing. So let's see if I can get a, yep. Because now I can kind of see the layering that's going on as I'm doing this, and I think that's working much better. Yeah, I can probably worry about night vision later if I need it. Actually, I think this one is going to have to be upright, just because I'm thinking trying to base rides off of this thing is going to be pretty difficult if the deck is kilted. Kilted? If the deck is wearing an Irish kilt, yes, sure. If it's tilted, it's going to have some problems. And I suppose actually what I could do... I think this thing through. I can put the entrance to one of the rides right through the center here. So this could all be a themed area, and like in here's the roller coaster track, and you know, it comes in through the back of the ship. So there's an idea to think about. Of course, the trick is I don't want to. So we'll need to work in some torchlight in here, but not make it too intrusive. Anyways, yeah, it's kind of where I'm wondering the future of the game, and I mean, is it possible that Minecraft has really finally run its peak in popularity now because of all of this? Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Let's sweep back. I want to keep the sides of this a little... Trying to ease back off of the slope from up here without making it too obvious that that's what I'm doing. So for those of you who have not watched my Factorio episode, my Getting Myself Killed in Factorio, you probably aren't aware that I mean, speaking of Minecraft itself, I've kind of taken a little bit of a break from doing anything serious on Minecraft. You know, a little bit of a break from Zombieland Studios and everything. No, I don't want to do that. I want to leave you as is. Nope. And I've been, you know, I needed to start doing a different game, really, and start to play some other stuff. And I did get stuck. I got myself really hard into Factorio for a couple weeks, and this is really the first I've actually been playing Minecraft since then, actually. I haven't really been... Yeah, it looks a bit smoother. I've really been focusing on it, and some of that is because we've got the ZombieCraft server reset coming up. Some of it is on the XPS server. I've got a lot of building that I need to do, and it's all... Putting down the grass on top of Underhill is a time limit. It's very time... It takes a lot of time to do it, especially because, you know, there's not much to show on camera while I'm doing it. So That's kind of where I have not had any videos out there. So hopefully this kind of rekindles a little bit of the Minecraft flame here, because I was starting to get burned out a little bit. You might have seen it when I did the Get Lucky stuff for ZombieCraft. It probably shows that I was kind of like, I'm almost phoning this story in. And I don't like the fact that that was the case. And you know, I'm here to try to... it's as much showing off what I'm doing in Minecraft as it is to kind of... actually, am I out the full... No, I'm not. I'm 2 layers too far out. Okay. Or too far in. Because I need to have... yeah, this finished first. Can do. Yeah, I just kind of hit a point where it's like, okay, there's... on the XPS server, one of the problems I'm actually dealing with is a lot, and I do mean a lot, of server-side lag. Remember to stay focused on this one. So these 2 are leading, and that is the stairs. There we go. There's a lot of lag on the XPS server, and some of it is definitely just the number of people that are on there, and there's nothing that I can really do about. And how did this wind up? Boy, I really was not paying attention when I was doing this, was I? Yeah, because look at that. That's not supposed to be that. That's supposed to be half slab, half slab. Long bit, long bit. Okay, back on track. There's a lot of lag on the XPS server, and unfortunately it makes for a pretty, in a lot of cases, an unplayable experience, because you've got to break blocks multiple times. My XP farm doesn't work very well, so when I need to repair tools, it's a long, laborious effort to do it. And yeah, I mean, and it's just the nature of the server itself, and it's not a slight against X or anything, or any indication I'm going to be leaving the server. It just is what it is, and you know, you just do what you can with it, and unfortunately, do what you can means that more often than not, I generally wind up with maybe playing on there for an hour, and I might get like 5 minutes of video out of it. And I also don't have a camera count. They don't have the option to bring a camera count on. So running on the snapshots, I couldn't rely on ReplayMod for anything, for footage. And then even then, you know, there's no forge or anything on top of that. So now I didn't have a way to do my light indicator. So lighting my base was turning into a massively laborious task. And just that torch grid that I had to slap down, it just... that took forever to get out there, and it's still not complete. There's still quite a bit that I need to get lit up